Hey, good looking. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Collection Connection, the game that, if we're being honest with ourselves, it's just an excuse to talk about music. So, on Eric's last play, he threw out television's Marquee Moon, which I have to admit is a huge blind spot for me. Funny story, possibly funny story anyway. The version I have a cover of Marquee Moon done by the Kronos Quartet that was put out on the Rubaiyat sampler, or whatever you call that thing. That was a bunch of current day artists on the Sire label, Reprise label, covering their former artists. And so the Kronos Quartet had covered Marquee Moon, the title track, and I thought, due to that cover, that the song was an instrumental. And having heard mostly just about the guitars whenever I hear about television, I thought it wasn't anything necessarily that was worth pursuing for me. But I listened to it yesterday after Eric suggested it, and I quite enjoyed it. So kudos there. That was a lot of fun. Big surprise that it's got lyrics and it's just music. And so I thought it would be fun to connect it to another CBGB band. I don't have any television, but I do have plenty of Blondie and Talking Heads and Ramones and such. But instead, I decided to go with the connection of Matthew Sweet's Girlfriend. Now, the short connection, and frankly ample connection, is that Richard Lloyd of television plays guitar on Matthew Sweet's Girlfriend album and several other of his albums. But that was something that I just knew. So I had already kind of decided to make that my choice. But in researching it a little bit, I decided to needlessly complicate the connection by pointing out that when they met both playing for the Feelies ex-drummer Anton Fear, his supergroup, the Golden Palominos, that was basically him, Anton, and whoever he recruited, album by album, to play songs. And Richard Lloyd and Matthew Sweet met for the first time playing for the Golden Palominos. Matthew Sweet was in the band, I guess, at that moment, and Richard Lloyd was invited to come in to fill in guitar for some shows when his guitarist was out. And that's how they first met. So my connection is going actually to be that Richard Lloyd and Matthew Sweet both played for the Golden Palominos. But that said, Matthew Sweet's Girlfriend is a classic album. It's an album that pop fans and rock fans can both agree on. It's just wonderful kind of guitar pop that sounds enough like rock music that it doesn't alienate rock fans. And it's just got a ton of solos, a lot of guitar work in a way that is integrated so well that you don't necessarily pick up on it unless you're listening for it. They just feel like great compositions. They got great walloping solos. Divine Intervention is my personal favorite. It opens the album, and I love it. The title track, Girlfriend, is a fantastic tune, but it is loaded beginning to end with just great guitar pop that just ticks over to rock comfortably for rock fans. And I have several Matthew Sweet albums, but I think most people would agree that Girlfriend is probably his home run. And it's a great record. Some of my other favorites, I adore Thought I Knew You is a great song. I've Been Waiting. And yeah, I Wanted to Tell You. Evangeline. It's just loaded with great stuff. Um, and yeah, and I think that it more or less fills out my 5 minutes. So I will say, if you are not familiar with Matthew Sweet's Girlfriend album, Eric, that you will love it. It's hard not to like. It's just the perfect album of just music. If it's, I always called it the perfect album to put on when you don't know what to put on. Uh, so it sounds good, and it's just enjoyable, beginning to end. So with that, I will throw it back to you. Matthew Sweet, 1991, Girlfriend. Terrific album. And I will see you for your response, Plastic Soundwave Cult, on Monday. Everybody else, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.